Welcome back to Different Walks, Serious Talks. You're back here with the four of us, Autumn, Farah, Markeisha, and myself. And today we're going to be talking about Black culture. What do you consider culture vultures or belonging to Black culture? We're going to talk a little bit about generational curses and that sort of thing. I know, Markeisha, you have really strong opinions about what belongs to Black culture and what culture vultures are. You want to start us off?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, like most things, I do have strong opinions, but specifically culture vultures, I will say that these are people that kind of dip into black culture. Maybe they use a whole lot of AAVE, borrow styles and whatnot, and then just basically appropriate them just so they can gain some type of clout or financial so and so. And then as soon as they get exactly what they wanted out of it, use it and abuse it, then they go ahead and they switch back to where they originally come from with their specific styles. So, like, for example, Justin Timberlake, he was doing a whole bunch of pop and R&B stuff, and then he came out with, I think it's called like Man in the Woods, and he was wearing flannel, and he was like the whitest he'd ever been. And I was like, really? After you got so much love from the black community, I just see it happen too often, and it drives me nuts. Or when Kim K had boxer braids instead of cornrows, you're like, no, those are cornrows, baby. So yeah, I mean, Kim K was black for a long time, and now she got all of her enhancements out, and she's white again. So I'm like, what's happening? What's happening, you guys?
So,
Culture
what do
vultures,
you
in my
think the
opinion.
difference is between appropriation and appreciation?
So I think appreciation comes with a certain level of knowledge and acknowledgement, right? So let's go back to the whole Kim K thing. She called them boxer braids. If she had some type of appreciation, she would know that these are cornrows, and black women have been doing them for ages, and we've been wearing them. It's nothing new. But she decided to say that they were called something else and act like, they'd never existed before she put them on her head. So I think that makes a big difference. So if you can have that knowledge and appreciation and acknowledge where it comes from, I think that makes all of the difference.
Okay. Do you guys have any other opinions about appropriation, appreciation, culture vultures?
I don't pay enough attention to tell you the truth. I had to figure out who Kim K was for a second. I'm like, who's she talking about? I think Kardashian, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, girl. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what she is to say she was appropriating or not. So, um, I mean, every culture is different. We grew up a certain way. We were immersed in both Hispanic and Haitian cultures. We did get some good old down south black culture. I mean, we weren't treated like we were black, and so it was kind of hard to be submersed in the black community because, we look different and we're from the 80s, so it wasn't like we were treated like we were African American because even to this day, people still tell me to my face, you can't be African American. But I am. Both my parents are Haitian, and I identify as African American. So, I mean, everybody could choose to believe whatever they want to believe about black culture. To me, culture is whatever you make it in your home. Mommy raised us a certain way, and there's certain things we do, certain things that we know are Haitian, some things that we have adopted as being Haitian American, some things that I still don't know as a Haitian American that I'm still learning as an adult because I didn't immerse myself as a Haitian when I was younger. And because I was told that I was a Haitian so much by other Haitians, I dismissed the culture when I was younger. But now that I have a
Mm.
daughter, I want her to know the culture. And so I'm trying to find out more things. And community is big, but it's bigger when you're an adult than when you're a child because you don't really think about the community. Everyone's part of your community. Everybody that Sakaya meets is her friend, whether it's somebody that she met today or somebody she meets yesterday. If she sees you again, she's gonna be like, my friend. And that's all of a sudden part of her community. But as adults, we differentiate. We immediately say, no, that's not part of my community. just because we don't know them. So I don't exactly know what culture is for me, and I'm still finding out. And that's at
Mm.
41 years old. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there like me who don't know how to put themselves in one particular culture because there isn't a particular checkbox for us. There wasn't a other. There was there when we were growing up. There was no Hispanic and African American. It was either or.
Yeah.
So I didn't even find out till way later that I was Hispanic and African American. So
I think
again, I don't
that
have
can
that
really,
attention.
I think that
Hmm?
can really impact how you like what you feel about the topic, because if you don't like if you don't identify the pieces that are your part of the culture, I guess, or as what you think is black culture and what you think isn't, it's difficult to say that somebody else is appropriating that, because you're like, well, is that really just black culture? Is this, it's difficult to identify that for yourself, or to feel a specific way. I know, one
Okay.
of the
Even as black culture, so there's so many different black cultures. So a Haitian might be like, "That's Haitian," where they're like, "No, no, no, that's West Indian. No, it's Jamaican. You guys took it from us." So it's like, who exactly did we get it from? Don't we all come from the same motherland? Why are we even arguing over which different culture? Can we all just get along? So I'm not sure. And with ADHD, especially, y'all already know I have attention problems. I didn't even know that so many people disliked Haitians until we got to Florida.
Mm.
And it was other Haitians being that rude to me. So
Mm.
as a young kid, with Haitians treating another Haitian the way they treated me, I couldn't identify with Haitian culture, and with Hispanics treating me the way they treated me because I was too dark. I couldn't identify with Hispanic culture. And of course, I'm not all the way Caucasian. So who do you identify with? So having any type of mixture, whether it's minuscule or a lot, if you look different, whether it's light skinned or dark skinned, if your eyes are almond or big and round, you are part of a different community than the person next to you who has the same shade of skin just because of different eyes or different lips or a different sized nose. And you don't get to immerse yourself. I got made fun of for being light skinned and people didn't think I wore lotion. So, you know, it's just little things like that. You can't really find yourself in your culture if you're picked on all the time. And by the time that I did start wanting to be into my culture, even the adults, they're like, oh my God, you don't know your culture? How could you be Haitian? I mean, it's the Haitians that pushed me away. It's the
Mm.
African Americans that pushed me away. And when I was younger, Caucasians were quick to be nice to me, but the older I got, now they're pushing me away as well. So where do you go? I mean, in my head, it never really mattered to me because I didn't need community. But again, now that I have a daughter, now it's different. So
Mm.
So for you, it doesn't really resonate for all the things that really belong to black culture. So
no, no. Like I just recently watched.
yeah.
It's on Netflix. It was Step something. It's about a white fraternity stepping,
Oh yeah.
and the black fraternity was upset at first, but then they came along and they were upset that the judges tried to fix the competition or whatever. But at the end of the day, who cares who does what as long as we're all happy? Let's just be happy together. Let's teach each other's culture, and let's appreciate it instead of knocking it down. Build each other up no matter what community you come from.
Well, I think
And I
that's the conversation, though, right? Like appreciation versus appropriation. Appreciation, you appreciate somebody, and you give their due, their just due, and you say, hey, this is black culture. I'm appreciating it. And appropriation is, oh, you see this thing that I did? It's brand new. I'm going to go ahead and make money from it. I'm going to uh, make it this huge thing, like it's brand new, shiny out the box, because I came up with it. but really it was already it's already been here for a long time, and you know you're just using that for your own
Personal gain.
Kind of
personal
like
gain.
Meanwhile,
clothing companies that
meanwhile,
keep
the
saying
originators.
bell bottom.
Well, that's a little different. Clothing comes and goes, but you know, there are
Clothing
different
is
things.
racial too.
Yes, clothing can be racial, but like the biggest one, Markeisha mentioned, is music. That's one of the biggest ones you know people mention is you know rap culture, R&B, and you know things that originate within the black culture. Even rock, you know, rock and roll originated within the black culture. So you
Rhythm
know
and
those
blues,
sorts of
rock and
things,
roll,
like
folk, all of it.
exactly, even
So
country.
when
Country.
is it okay
Yeah.
for someone to do all of it and not be appropriating but just appreciating? Like you mentioned Justin Timberlake, and I haven't seen the thing in the finals to tell you the truth because I don't pay enough attention and whatever comes on my YouTube comes on. But I can't say that I wouldn't listen to it because I like country. I love country. In fact, I love plenty of what people consider to be Caucasian music. I love what is that called? See, I can't even remember the names of some of the kinds of music I listen to.
Okay.
Basically, I listen to any kind of music, whether it's show
I too.
tunes or so.
Yes.
What does it? What? When does it matter what people are singing as long as it's good music?
I think it matters to the point of when you're giving credit where credit is due. So if
Got
I say Farrah made a really amazing song, I'm going to cover it, and then I go ahead and I pay you your whatever it is, royalties for covering your song because it's so good. I'm giving you that credit, right? You came up with it. I'm giving you your time to shine, and I'm paying homage and respect to you. Now, let's say your song isn't that well known. I come across it. I really like it. I'm just going to record it, put my name on it, then go ahead and get signed, make a million bajillion dollars, and never give you any credit ever at all. Thanks so much, Fair, for your contribution. The world
oh,
will
like with
never
a lot of
know,
Elvis
but I
Presley
had so much
songs,
fun. Huh?
like with a lot of Elvis Presley songs.
Yeah, I guess. I don't pay Elvis no
Okay,
mind either because he was also a racist. But yeah,
I like
sure.
his.
Yeah,
I
like
actually like
that.
his music. You see, that's the
I won't
thing. I
separate the
don't really care.
artist from the
I don't
music.
care
I
if
don't
somebody was
separate the artist from the
racist or
music.
did anything. If I like their music, I'm still listen to it because it's good music. It's
Nah.
not my
Girl,
problem.
you listen to R. Kelly? You listen to R. Kelly right now? You haven't canceled
Sometimes
him
if
yet?
I'm trying to get my bumping ground,
A scandalo. It's
I mean,
scandalo.
if
Mm-mm.
it comes on my YouTube and I'm in the middle of the act, I'm not gonna stop and be like, "Oh no, R. Kelly."
Well, the thing is, you should already had your app programmed when it came on when you was listening to it in the car. Thumbs
There's plenty of
down.
times you
Girl,
go ahead and tell
what?
the app not to play something and it still come on. I'm not gonna fight with you,
Okay, if you
especially
say
when you
so. If you say so, girl. My app don't never play me no R. Kelly, so I don't know which one you using. I don't know, maybe switch
my
another one,
app
but
plays
I
me
don't do that.
everything,
You don't do that over
everything.
you.
And
To each
sometimes
his
I'll play
own.
something and sometimes I won't. Like I said, it just depends on what I'm doing.
No,
If I'm in the middle of
I don't
something,
support people that treat other people really badly. I just don't. I'm not going to stream your
it's
stuff. I'm not going to add to your plays. I don't separate the artist from the music. You probably
I
shouldn't
don't
have
think
been,
about it like that
doing
because
things
I
to
don't
little
even think about
girls.
R. Kelly during it. I don't even think about the fact that he's the one singing the song. So my
I'm just
thought
saying,
process is just different. See,
but
I
I would
understand where you're
challenge
coming
you.
from, and if I cared enough, I might try. But I don't
I
care.
I challenge you
Like
to
I
start
feel
caring
bad
and
that
start trying
somebody
because you
listens to
have a
it,
little girl. You have a little girl. And if your little
and
girl
he
was a
won't listen
victim,
to it. But
you
I've
wouldn't
already
want
got used to
somebody.
it.
Okay, so if your little girl was victimized, you'd be like, I could still stream that person's music because, that's different. I really like the song. It doesn't matter that they used and abused my child
I can't
as
speak
a
to what I would do
minor.
at that particular point, but I could tell you that with the people that have done things to me, I don't
Okay.
hold grudges and I can barely remember them. So it's not that I'm trying to support somebody or trying not to support somebody. It's I don't have time to try and figure out who did what, when, where, and what. I'm just living my life. And I understand that some people have to, make a point over this person did this person did that, and I can't support them. But that's just not my point of view. It's not even whether I'm trying to support them or not. I'm just listening to my music and I'm living my life. And I understand that someone somewhere is really upset And yes, I understand that someone was a victim. I've been a victim too. However, again, it's just not my thought process. And I feel for those who think that way. But it just doesn't drag me down. And I even like when you're saying Kim K and all those other names, I know who Justin Timberlake is, but a lot of celebrities I don't know. R. Kelly, I only remember him because of when I was younger. His music played a lot. I don't fully remember all the stuff that he did. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't follow the case. I still don't follow
So
celebrity live stuff. I probably never will. I try to follow political stuff because I know it's important, but I don't even follow that sometimes.
Hmm.
My life is more about the people surrounding me. And as much as I wish that I could pay more attention to that, I just don't have the attention span. And as much as people want to try and say, oh, you need to, you need to, you need to, that's just not my point of view.
So I
And I
think I
wish
think
I
we
could,
can
really, I
agree
do.
to
It's just,
disagree
it's not.
on this particular point, because I do think that everybody has things that are very very important to them, um,
Hmm.
and they are things that that we do want to make sure that we at least give our point of view to other people, but obviously we all have different different value sets and different things that is our primary focus. So it is something that like for me, I didn't follow the case a lot, but I also didn't listen to R. Kelly much, so he doesn't really come on my stations. But I don't have the opportunity to thumbs down, so I guess for me it doesn't stand my head much. But I understand that like if it did come on my stations more, then I might give it more attention, right? So it's sort of one of those things that you weigh out. Is it something that is important for you to pay attention to, because you might have another cause that is going to take more of your attention and more has more value for you, based upon your value set. Now, I did want to mention about culture vultures and so culture vultures when we're talking about like the rap community specifically, and we talked about Justin Timberlake. Um, so I know that we've had some beefs in the last year or so. Probably Markeisha can speak to that more than I can. I am a outlier. I will tell you 100%. I'm an outlier. I listen to it, but I don't listen to it a bit. Autumn and Markeisha are probably more up on that than I am. But I do want to mention one thing that I think is a big thing for me that makes me not really think of rap as much. I think, and this is just this is my this is my point of view. I think that rap is mostly geared towards black men, and not just black culture. And so, for me, I don't pay as much attention to the people who they call culture vultures, because I'll listen to rap, especially if I'm in the car with somebody else who is listening to it. But I don't listen to it as much because I do think it is a lot geared towards black men. There are a lot of references towards women in the songs that are, to me, derogatory. So, what do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, I agree. It's a male dominated industry, but most industries are male dominated. I think it's just a reflection of our society. It's a patriarchal society that we live in. But I am so happy to see that, women are definitely making a comeback, and I might be mistaken, so don't quote me just yet, but I think women rappers are outselling male rappers right now. So, kudos to the ladies that are killing the game. But for the most part, yeah, it's usually a male dominated industry. And I think it's really just a sign of the world we live in, unfortunately.
I guess that's
But I
the
do
other
respect
part of
a
that.
good male rapper,
I do.
so
I
like
can
Kendrick Lamar.
respect the flow. I can listen to it and I'll respect the flow and I'll be like, yeah, he killed it.
Hmm.
But I also I can't really I don't really listen to a lot of female rappers because a lot of them speak derogatory about women as well. So, or it, to what I feel is in a derogatory manner about female bodies, about things that are to me not as appropriate. But again,
That's my
I
favorite
don't
kind of
police
music.
anybody else. And
I
yeah,
love the inappropriate stuff.
exactly. So some people are like, I love that stuff, and I'm like, good for you. Uh, I can't get with it because it's just not something that like to me, if the things that you input into your head are the things that you internalize. So I a lot of the music that I've been told that a lot of music that I listen to, oh, it's happy go lucky stuff. That's some BS, but I listen to happy go lucky stuff because I happen to be a happy go lucky person. Um,
Okay, well, I listen to trap music and talk about, selling drugs, and I work in a hospital. I've never sold a drug in my life. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing,
um,
girl. Sometimes you can
well,
just compartmentalize it.
you are
What
adjacent to
about
drugs.
fantasy?
Maybe that's
What
what
about
happened. You're
fantasy?
adjacent to drugs.
These
You
are
work in a hospital.
pharmaceuticals pushed by
That's
the
what they call
man. That's
them.
different.
That's what they call them. Pharmaceuticals. I mean,
But I'm just saying, music can be an
yes.
escape and it can be a fantasy. So sometimes it's nice. And sometimes I listen to sad music even though I'm not sad, but I appreciate the art and so on and so forth. So
I
there's
agree.
context and, there's a time and place for almost just about everything. So I love me some happy go lucky stuff. But like Fair, I listen to a whole bunch of things.
I do
And
too.
yeah, I do enjoy me a little trap music. There's a
I,
song called
I mean,
Slumber
we
Party.
heard the
It's not
trap
even
music
trap.
from toddlers,
oh yes,
From where?
that's it.
Jules
Trap
TV.
music for toddlers.
I love
Oh
Jules.
yeah, that stuff goes hard.
Fantastic.
Teach me about my vegetables and the days of the
Jules
week. Oh, that
TV.
stuff go hard.
JOOLS TV. Jules TV.
It go hard.
Although Gracie's Corner be hitting too.
It sure
And Miss
do.
Houston. I
It
love
sure
me some Miss
do.
Houston. I don't know
So
why
this
Miss Houston
autumn,
isn't bigger.
Yes,
it's coming.
Miss Houston. If if you want to come on the podcast, you're welcome to contact us, and we come on
You
here
should
and we can.
definitely be blowing up. My
Yes,
daughter loves.
she's definitely blowing up.
She got those
That
good
the
jams.
dinosaur
She got some
song.
good
Oh my
beats.
gosh, she loves the
Ah,
dinosaur dance. My
oh
God.
man.
Um, but so, what other things do you guys think are like belong to the black community? We haven't heard from you. What do you think belongs to the black community?
Everything, everything.
I like it.
We the
I know
blueprint.
that's right. We are the blueprint.
We the blueprint for a lot of
Yes.
stuff. Not just Caucasian people that like to utilize our entertainment. You got other cultures. You got the Korean culture. You got the Hispanic culture, Hispanic hip hop. You got Asian hip hop, European hip hop. We got our stamp on everything.
And hip hop
Yep.
actually outsells most music, even more so than people's native music in their own land. Hip hop outsells it.
Yeah. Um, it's they can't get rid of. They know what we offer, and I understand where you're coming from as far as we're looking for validation. I know we want it, and um we earned it, but we need to seek validation within ourselves. Because if we keep looking for other people to validate us and what we contribute, we're going to be sorely disappointed because they don't care. Because at the end
Every
of the day,
time.
it's all about money.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, it's all about money. They don't care who they take it from. They don't care how they gain it. It's a big money machine. It can
Hmm.
be visible and invisible. There's so many moving pieces behind it. It's not even funny. So we can blame the Justins and the Kim K's of the world, but there's a bigger machine behind them that's,
Hmm.
you know, giving them the permission to do so. So,
The
you
permission and the incentive to do so.
yeah, exactly. So me personally, I see it as all entertainment. There's bigger things out there in the world for me to worry about than somebody wearing some cornrows that's not the same, shade as my skin. Um, to me, it's just a distraction. All this other stuff that we worry about, you know, it's entertainment to me. I think it's funny. Um, Growing up, I was a Biggie, Pac. You know, I'm old school hip hop artist. But also I enjoyed Eminem. You know, he is one of the predominant Caucasian, artists out there, and I knew all his songs word for word.
Yeah.
You know, it was just entertainment to me. And I liked it. But I understand where you're coming from about that. But
Yeah.
look at the big picture
Well,
around
I don't think
all the stuff.
Eminem. I don't think he actually, in my book, he's not a culture vulture
Well,
because
no, I'm not
he
saying
pays
he
homage to
is. I'm
those.
not
Yeah.
saying he is, but he is. His
Melanin deficiency. His
yeah.
melanin deficiency is what you're trying to refer to. Yes, and yes.
I think he's well
But
aware of his
yeah, he's
melon
a
deficiency.
genius. He has
But
an
yeah, he's
amazing flow. He's very
yeah,
Yeah,
creative.
he's creative and he
yeah.
learned and
Yes.
he has paid homage, he's collaborated with a lot of great hip hop artists out there,
Absolutely.
now one culture vulture that was a one hit wonder, Vanilla Ice. Now, yeah, backing it out, y'all remember who that was, but yeah, he tried and he didn't succeed too well, but
Yeah.
like I said, it's entertainment to me, and I understand where y'all coming from, you know, but at think we the blueprint, period, point blank. We all over the world. Anywhere we go on any corner of this globe, there is hints of us in the foods, in the clothes, in the music, style. It don't matter. It's more of us than any other doggone, uh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ethnicity, race,
Yes, ethnicity.
demographics.
Exactly. Yeah, demographics. It's more of us in the DNA, than any other thing. So we won. We win. Period. Point blank.
So, what do you guys think about people who say that black women wearing wigs, wearing lace fronts, that sort of thing, is the same thing?
That right there. Dealt with trying to belittle us. We wasn't beautiful enough, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of women, including me, fell for it. You know, Low self-esteem. Um, I used to wear wigs. I still do every now and then, not as much as I used to then. But when I did wear, I used to wear it curly because my natural hair is kinky and curly. I hardly wore straight. Every now and then, but it was depending on mood. But I wasn't trying to be something that I'm not. And I think a lot of women don't know our identity, just like a lot of black men don't know or have an identity because we've been programmed to self hate. And we think that the European standards is what, you know, is what's beautiful. And it's not always the case. And that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
What do you
I
think
don't.
about it, Jess?
I don't necessarily think that when you wear a wig, it's necessarily self hate. I mean, it's just easy. Like I don't wear wigs. I just never have. To me, they're very cumbersome. But I do know a lot of people who do wear them. They're like, if I can do my hair one time in the month and just like put some dry shampoo underneath it and keep going all month, I'm gonna do that. And I think that's okay, right? And I don't think it's appropriation. Just like if somebody wears cornrows, I don't think that's appropriation. If they call it something else, like you said, if they're like, nope, I came up with this. This is the first time you've seen this ever in life. That's appropriation. But appreciation means that you just doing something different. You're not saying this is the first time somebody's created it. You're just doing something different, and you're appreciating the different things that you can do with your hair, with your skin, with whatever you'd like to do. So I think that it can be a little different, especially with natural hair, which is very cumbersome to take care of. The
See,
longer my hair
why
gets,
why is it cumbersome? Who said it
have
was
you
cumbersome? Look,
me who
here's the
has it on
thing.
my
How
head?
many how many Caucasian
Me,
women you know of wear wigs? How many Caucasian
several,
women?
several.
A
Okay,
lot.
but
Yeah.
but I believe the demographic of wig wearers are more and predominantly black women than they are any
Speak to
other
a
nationality.
hairdresser. Speak to a hairdresser, and they will tell you
Look in the
that
movies.
just as often, like they get extensions, and they get like long term extensions. They especially if you're doing a lot of different things to your hair, you're going to usually wear a wig to so that your hair isn't taking on all the heat and all that different stuff.
But that's different. That's different. I'm
How?
talking about every day you go to Walmart, you see you see probably 9 out of 10 women wearing wigs than their natural hairstyle.
I don't
Okay?
think anymore. I think that used to be the case when we were younger, but as we go on, like more and
No,
more
there's
people
more
are.
wig wearers now.
I will say I get what you're saying about it's difficult with the hair, you know.
Yeah,
I think you have to be very strong to have natural hair if you're a black woman. There's a lot of stuff that we
girl.
deal with, and it's tough. You got to detangle, and if you braid your own hair, your hand ain't supposed to be up like this for so long. You get tired.
Now, for me, I would love to be able to wear wigs. I have just not. I haven't. I've never been a wig wearer. It is. I've gotten a sew-in twice in my life. Both times I took it out within 24 hours because it was just so like it was weighing down on my scalp. I'm just not used to it. Most of the time, I'll wash it, and by the time I'm done washing and combing through it, I don't want to do nothing else. Like
You're
that's a
tired now.
day. That's
You're
that's my
tired.
day. You know.
Or
Yes.
So
even if sometimes you put it up, your head starts hurting because it's too heavy.
that that there's
So
and
like
there's
I
so,
thought
Yeah.
I
there's
was
so
trying to
much.
do it cute for the podcast today, and I had it all swooped up, and now look at it, and I just gave up. And it was like,
Look,
oh well.
Valid. Valid. But I'll be honest, I just feel like no matter what the situation is, black people just deserve more grace and leniency than literally anybody else. I don't care if it's not appropriate to say or whatever. Just because
I
I
agree.
think Malcolm X actually said it for, well, I think I read it in his book, his biography. But basically saying like our brothers and sisters require more grace because we've been through more stuff. So we were conditioned, like at one point it was illegal for black women to show their hair. We had to have it covered. And then once we were allowed to legally show our hair, we were told that was unkempt. It was unruly. It was unprofessional. I mean, there's still states right now where they can legally discriminate against you because of your hair texture. Who's being affected by that? It's us. So if women of our color feel like they need to go ahead and put on a wig for X, Y, and Z reasons, I'm not going to say it's appropriation. It's probably coming out of some sense of necessity, whether it's more convenient or because of the societal standards and pressures that are put on them. And I'm going to give my sisters a pass. And furthermore, black women are the prototype. You don't have to believe me. You could look it up. That's why we have the mitochondrial Eve DNA. We can produce a child with blonde hair and blue eyes. And there's actually a lot of really dark skinned people that come out with blonde hair or red hair because we actually have those genes already like in
Embedded
us.
in us.
So you can't tell me blonde hair is only for, you know, a certain group of people, especially when we were the first and original people. So yeah, wear your blonde hair. Wear it straight, wear it curly or whatever. I'm gonna give you guys more slack than anybody else just because I know we've been through so much more as a people. So,
I'm gonna go out and get me a blonde wig then. See what I look like on
you
me.
gonna wear it? You gonna wear it for the next podcast?
No, not for the
Sarah used to
podcast.
love
That's not.
blonde.
I
I
know
wore
what you're
all colors.
saying. You're
I wore
nasty.
all colors. I wore blue, purple, red, blonde, orange. I went through all of them.
Yeah,
I was like, if I could buy it, I could wear it.
and
I
I
Cause
know
did.
that's
mama,
right.
I
I
literally
know
did
that's right.
nothing.
And remember when I had that rooster? It was
Yeah.
so cute. Way back when you could actually buy all the different colors and different pieces. Remember where you could put the strands around
Oh,
as
a
a
little
ponytail?
20, little
So I
27
bought
piece.
like blonde and black and brown and red and like some bright orange, and it turned out so beautiful, like a rooster. So I called it my
A
This is
little
little
that
pimped
rooster.
out
rooster.
rooster. A little pimped
Yeah.
out rooster.
You ever see a rooster's feathers that are
Sound
all
like
these
Rainbow
different
Bright to
beautiful
me.
browns, reds, and oranges? Yes, it was like a rooster. It was beautiful.
And she proud of it too, y'all.
I am so proud. I don't care.
Yes.
I love animals.
So proud.
I'm
Look,
just
I
saying.
said I love
Sometimes
animals.
I'm a tiger, sometimes I'm a rooster. Hey, oh well.
Oh God. Help
So
us.
a lot of times, when we're talking about culture vultures, we also end up talking about code switching because that tends to be like a big part of people saying, "Oh well, you guys acting white is your part of appropriating, our part of the culture, right?" I've heard people say that, and I've heard people say, "Oh, you're not acting black, so or you're acting white," and I've gotten that. Me and Farrah have gotten that since we moved to
Since we
Florida.
were little.
So yeah, so we were
Same.
born in Massachusetts, and we were. When I tell you, my grandmother did not do slang, and we were not allowed to do slang.
Not
So we
even in
moved
French.
here,
Mm-mm.
and somebody said "ain't." I was like, spell it, and so and they were like, "Oh, you acting white." So like it was a really big thing, and so like it's
Mm-hmm.
so. What do you guys think about code switching? What's you guys take on what code switching does for us as Black people, and how you feel about it?
I don't think code switching is appropriation in any way, shape, or form because, again, we have to live in a society where you have to make money and we're not the ones making the rules most of the time at these places. So there's a lot of people that say, oh, show up as your authentic self at the job. If you do that, you're going to get fired, baby. Your authentic self isn't always on time. Your authentic self isn't always professional. You have to show up as your professional self. And who decides what's professional is probably the ones whose name is on the building or owns the office, so on and so forth. So you have to go in there and you have to come in with your best professional self, whatever that looks like. Now, if your office is very laid back and all of your managers are cool and or all of your managers look like you, then that's a different story. And then you can show up looking like what that culture is. But each organization wants you to fit into their culture. And that's just how it goes. So if you're not a good fit for the culture, you're going to get fired. So either you work for somebody else and fit into their box, or you work for yourself and you can do it how you want to. But I don't think it's appropriation. I think it's a matter of survival. Now, when we can all live for free and live off the land, then, probably won't be a thing at all. But here we are. So
I don't know if you remember when we were younger, we were at a Blockbuster and somebody called us the N word, and Miss Brenda was with us, and she went ahead and textbook told them what it meant and how it meant ignorance, and that meant they were the ones acting like it because us as children, of course, we weren't acting that way, but they were. And then she proceeded to tell them that there's no such thing as acting black or white. There's only educated and uneducated.
exactly. I've never understood how you could act a particular color. And being black isn't a monolith. We don't all talk the same, walk the same, or enjoy the same things. That's just being displayed right here amongst our panel today. So I don't know how you can act black or white or green. How do you do it? I don't know. I like what I like, and
Even as an adult, we've
I
been
move
told
like
that.
that.
Yeah, and even as an adult, we've been told that. Like
Yeah,
you don't act black.
all the time.
Y'all
Yeah.
remember
So
being called Oreos? Were y'all ever called Oreos? Oh, you're
Oreos,
black on.
apples.
You Autumn, you never heard
I've been
that
called the
one?
apple because I'm red on the outside.
Oh,
That's what
red.
black people, they mean.
That
Um,
was their label for me.
You
Red.
were what? Red?
ooh, right. Mm-hmm.
That
If
was
you
the
a
label
certain
for me.
shade, you either red or sunshine. You yeller.
Uh,
A high yellow.
yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been called that plenty of times.
Yep.
I had a white best friend in middle school, and I was told that she was blacker than me.
wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
So they called her
Well, even to
Oreo,
this
and they
day.
said I was an Oreo too because I must be black inside and was really deep. So
Okay, deep
like,
down somewhere, down in
yeah,
there.
yeah. So like
It's not just the way we
it's
speak, it's
crazy.
the way we dance, it's the way, if we decide to speak another language or speak in it, it's the way we go to church a certain way. Anything we do, we end up getting picked on. And to me, it feels like we end up getting picked on either because somebody doesn't know any better, they're jealous, or they just have nothing better to do. So I never really cared.
Mm.
And if that, the only time I cared is if they picked on Jessica. Don't mess
And
with
I
my
cared if
baby
they picked on
sister.
Farrah. So that's that's sort of how it goes. And that's
I used to talk
the
about me on
thing
you.
that the thing is that I think is kind of crazy is that um, if you enunciate your words, if you speak in an educated manner, people assume that you have not been through anything, that you come from the suburbs, that you must have had an easy life. So everything must have been amazing for you because you couldn't have gone through what I went through and you came out like you, right? People see me, they're like, oh, you're a goody two shoes, you must have had it easy, you must have lived a sheltered life. No, I just chose who I wanted to be and then I was that person. So like I think there is something to be said about like when people make assumptions about you based upon their preconceived notions of what comes out of certain situations. So it's kind of rough when you're told these things because sometimes you do internalize that. Oh, okay, well if I'm not black enough, I don't. When people used to ask me, "What are you?" Because everybody, nobody could tell I was Haitian. Nobody could tell like I was. They were like, "We can't tell what you are. What are you?" And I was like, "Human. I'm human. What are you?" I wasn't aware that aliens had gotten here, so I'm human. My name is Jessica, and of course, smart ass answer, but the conversation from there.
It's really bad with our names because, so Jessica thinks my name is exotic, but to other people it's just a French name. And for some reason, people associate French with white, even though there's Canadians, black Canadians, there's black people in France, there's Haitians. Hello, all these black people that speak French. But immediately when they see Preble, they're like, oh, she must be white. And then I go to talking, and they really assume I'm white. So back in the day, you remember when we used to do, you used to get called in to do a phone interview before the interview. So I'd get really good interviews, right? Oh, I'm about to get this job. Then you get invited into the office.
Like who's?
Yes, ma'am. No, we're looking for fair. Yes, ma'am. That's me. Oh,
Mm.
um, thank you so much for coming in. Ouch.
That's
That's pretty
wild.
painful. And that happened a few times, especially out in California. This is in the early 2000s. I actually wanted to be a nanny for a little while because I'm really good with kids. And so I was babysitting my friends' kids like all the time. And there was this nanny job, paid really good, and I interviewed really well over the phone. But when the woman met me, not only did she was she surprised at me being black, she actually backed up.
Wow.
At the time, it really hurt. Now it's a little bit funny, but at the time, it kind of hurt my feelings because I know I'm not threatening. I'm all of 5'2", almost 5'2", and at the time, I must have been like not even 120. So seriously, I'm this little stick, and you're backing up like I'm this 6'4", huge muscle bound man walking in the door. That was pretty hurtful, and we didn't proceed with the interview. Of course, she didn't even let me continue to tell her who I was. It was pretty much
Mm.
over. Like, you need to leave. You need to leave. Oh, okay,
Wow.
thanks. So that was pretty
Ugh,
hurtful. And
girl, I'm
Jessica,
so
I'm sure
sorry.
she's always complaining about her name, you know, being a little bit less exotic. I can only imagine.
I have a first and middle name you can find on any keychain in the world. Um, And yes, I've experienced very similar things. I've experienced where my name was pulled for an interview based upon the fact that I have a very conventional first and middle name.
European.
A very European first and middle name. I have asked my mom, I straight up asked her why she would do that when she has a first and middle name for my oldest sister that tells about her background. Same thing for Farah. And then she got to me and I told her she ran out. So
whatever. I love your
she,
name.
she
I used to
jokes
want
that,
your
yeah.
so bad. It went with the cartoon we watched.
Here's the thing. It was nuns' names. 2 nuns that took care of me. This is why I have a problem now. I got nuns' names. And
That's so
not to say anything bad about nuns. It is so sweet, but also what? I have nuns' names. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I'm not going to the convent.
I'm here for it.
That, yeah, my mom was too.
I love how you said that you're not going to a convent. You're still young, babe. You don't know. It's crazy out here. Convent's looking better and better every day. Tell about.
You know, although
quiet, 3 square meals,
Peace.
plenty of time to read.
there are things that I
Peace.
enjoy that nuns do not.
Quiet. Well, no, that's fair. That's valid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's still you're still young. Things could change. You might change your mind eventually.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
It's crazy out here. You don't want in the dating pool.
To say never
I don't know what to tell
again.
you.
To say never and not ever again. I choose who I want to be, but there are things that I know. I'm gonna be like, I broke the rules. They'd be like, you've been here for 24 hours. Well,
Who did you even find to break the rules with? Never mind. Don't answer that.
well, I found my husband. We get married tomorrow. We're already at the church.
And they kick you out of the convent that quick. I mean, I'm here for it, girl. Do it for the plot. I say go for it.
Do it for the plot. I like it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
So, other than that, so how do we break these generational curses? Like we've been talking about how we get told we're acting white, how we get detached from our culture, how we see culture vultures, and how we react mentally to them, and how we break those generational curses.
Research and therapy. The only way that I could teach my daughter about my culture is to research Haitian culture and actually learn it and immerse myself in it. I didn't even know there are so many different Haitian events particularly in my area, because my area doesn't have that many Haitians. However, about an hour away, which I don't mind driving, I know some people think it's far, but I don't mind. There's plenty of Haitian events, and the only way that I can learn more about Haitian culture is to go ahead and go to these events and find out more about myself and ask my mother, whenever she has the time for me, of course, to go ahead and tell me more about myself. And we're learning French. I'm learning French now. It's a lot harder now because, again, my attention. But I'm still trying, and my daughter's learning faster than I am, so I better hurry up before her and mommy start talking about me behind my back. And like I said, research and take the time to actually look into it, talk to our children about it, therapy to fix whatever's wrong. There's nothing wrong with therapy. I'm in therapy. Only been in a couple of weeks. It's already helping. Definitely like the venting part of it. My favorite part. But I think that even as a 41-year-old, I love myself, and I think I know myself for the most part. But again, I don't know my culture. And I don't think about it that much until you bring it up, or one of you guys, because I'm not much of a, I don't think about that kind of stuff. But when you do, it helps me to look more into it. And sometimes that's what it's going to take, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women like me that just don't have the attention span to immerse themselves until they have a child. So, and even having a child, I'm trying to immerse myself in it. But all the daily, sometimes these days skip by, man. I wake up, I do 2 things, really like 20, but it feels like only 2. And the day's over. I just woke up and she was asking to go potty, and then you guys were like, it's time for the podcast. I was like, oh crap, let me hurry up, soak my stuff up. So, time skips and it goes faster than we would like it to. But when we do have those little moments, when we get together, when we have sister day or family day with you guys, then you guys could be the ones to educate me because I'm not up on it. Because not all of us have the same thing. And yes, it's not that I don't want to know. It's just that my attention span won't help me keep focus on that, because the things that are important are the day-to-day stuff sometimes. Like I wish I could be more attentive, and I've been kicking myself. That's actually why I'm in therapy, because I'm that inattentive, and I want to be better for my daughter, and I want to do better, Keisha. I really do, but I just don't have that thought process. And I'm sure, like I said, there's probably plenty of women who just don't think about it. When we do think about it, it's a quick moment, and then, oh crap, our kid just dropped a whole tub of whatever, and oh my God, what is that on the wall? You can't focus. And black and white, it doesn't matter, because our toddlers don't see that color. So no matter what culture you're from, all toddlers are crazy. All of us need
Very
to come
true.
together and just hopefully help each other and appreciate each other's culture. And that's another way we can learn, because if it wasn't for people
Well, not
appreciating
just
Latin culture,
not
we'd be
just
dead.
learning though, but to break the generational curse.
Well, I'm sure there was someone out there when Latin was dying who was like, I want to keep it going. And there's going to be the same thing for our culture. Financially, like black women don't save money the same way any other women do. Is that the type of generational curse you're talking about? So like
So
learning to invest,
all the different
research.
generational curses. So we are being able to invest, having more cohesive families, doing being able
That has
to
to start on
understand
an
about our
individual
cultures.
level. That has to start on an individual level. And you
So how do
talking
we do
about
that?
families. Right now, as we speak, there is a gender war going on between black men and black women. We are not on the same accord. So if we're not on the same accord, we cannot break no gender curses, because we can't even come to an agreement, about how our relationships should be, who should be the man, who should be the woman. So when it comes to curses, that's look, it's taken us 400 years. We left slavery, and we still grappling with those issues from slavery. So on top of what we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis in our lives, we have to start with self first. And once we get self together, you get self together, so on and so forth, and we come together, then yes, we can start breaking those generational curses. But we can't do that if we don't know who we are. Our men don't know who they are. So it's just going to be systemic until somebody say enough is enough. And that's just
Also,
my
I think it's more than just perception of what happens. It's also circumstance. So
yeah,
just,
too.
just because we fix something doesn't mean the next generation won't go through it. Because sometimes it's luck or risk or circumstance, or just because you give them a good education doesn't mean they won't become a drug addict.
Hmm.
Just because you're a drug addict doesn't mean that they won't go to
So
college.
I think that's something different though. So we're talking about not passing down the generational traumas. We're talking about passing down the information and the knowledge and the education about the culture, about how to do things better, how to react better, how to
Okay,
have
so I
more cohesive
understand where
family.
you're coming from, so let me connect it for you the way that I'm thinking. Okay, so sorry, I forgot what I was talking about for a second.
So I
Let me,
understand what you're saying though. So I understand what you're saying. I just don't think of it in the same manner. I do think
true,
that
because I connect everything. That's right. Okay, so
not
everything's
because of
connected
that.
in my mind. I know. You guys are always telling me
Not because
nothing's
of that.
connected, but for me, everything connects.
I'm not saying it's not connected. I'm saying that I'm talking about something else. So I'm saying that. So I think that it has to start with not just one person, like each person doing the work. I think it has to start with the community saying, "All right, this is how
What
we need to make
community?
changes."
What
All of the
community?
communities, the black community specifically,
Did you not hear what I just said? We
it
cannot
doesn't
get to.
matter.
It
It
does
doesn't
matter. If
matter.
nobody wants to listen,
But
nobody
they
wants to
do.
really be a community.
Tons of
We're
people do.
fussing and fighting. We're
Tons
fussing
of
and
people
fighting
do.
as men and women.
Tons of
Okay?
people do.
There's no
Just
community.
because
There's
some people are fussing and fighting doesn't mean everybody is. So I
I'm
think
a bit
that's
confused
the
to tell you the
difference.
truth. I didn't even know there was a gender fight.
There are some
well,
people
there
who are having gender wars, which is what I'm saying, because there are tons of people who are not having gender wars, who are
Yeah, I don't know anybody
appreciating.
who's having a gender war.
There's a lot of
there's a lot of stuff out there. Like I said,
wars
the big
online.
picture. The big picture.
But there are tons of people who there's a tons of black women who appreciate black men who appreciate black women, who appreciate the family unit, to who are working towards becoming better and doing better than what our parents did, and trying to be more emotionally aware of what's going on, trying to understand their role, and also be more present. So black men have been doing amazing with trying to do better for black women. Black women are being amazing trying to do better for black men. But there are whole subsets that are not doing that. Right? There are whole
Yeah, and
subsets
that is
who
who's
just,
screaming the loudest? Who's screaming the loudest?
Maybe
it's
everybody should
always the
stop
most
worrying
negative that
about the
screams the
next person and
loudest.
only focus on their particular relationship, because every relationship is different and
It's
every
different.
relationship takes a
What?
different amount of work. So what works in one relationship where one woman may need to be more womanly than the next relationship of she may need to be more manly. Maybe in one relationship a woman needs to fix the things around the house because her man is terrible with a hammer, but he's really good cooking. And in the next one, that man's really good with laundry. What does it matter? What does it matter who does what role? Just as long as everybody's happy in the household and getting along.
I think
Like,
it starts with communal acceptance, with not always needing everything to be what you want, right? Markeisha is married. Her relationship with her husband will not follow the rules that I think that I need in my relationship, right?
correct.
So it needs to follow what her and her husband choose to do together. But
Exactly.
but we have
That's their
conversations, me and
community.
Mark.
That's the
No,
little
Yeah.
community.
no,
Shout out to my
because
man.
yeah, her and Alex have their own community, but Markeisha will come and tell me about, hey, this happened, and if she's wrong, I'm gonna be like, girl, you know I'm on your side, but you were wrong. That man, he's terrible, oh terrible, but girl, last time you said that you were
She
gonna do
lying. That ain't
X,
never
Y,
happened.
Z.
That ain't never happened because I don't be wrong. That ain't never. I don't know what she talking about.
It never happened, but if
I
it
get
did
the
happen,
sentiment. This is
if it
an
did
allegory,
happen,
you guys. She's
Basically, you're
yeah.
saying that it might help if people point it out to their friends when they're wrong more often instead of always going with the flow.
no,
I
nobody
think she's
needs to be
saying it's
yes
all about
man.
community. We have to
Yeah.
hold each other accountable and we have to hold each other close at the end of the day. It is up
What
to
makes
the
you think that's
individual
not
person
happening?
to do the work. No,
What
we're
makes you
just
think
saying
that's
this is
not
what it's going
happening?
to take. No, we're just saying what it's going to take in order for us to continue to break curses is for us to continue to do the work and also invite people in, hold them closer so that they feel safe enough to do the work as well and encourage them to
You
do
heard
the
the
work and
saying,
say,
you can
hey, I
lead a
love
horse to
you.
water, but you can't make him drink. You heard
And
that
yeah,
saying?
that's
You can
true.
lead
And
a person
Harriet Tubman
to
said
water.
she's going to have to shoot some people instead of bringing them with her. This is very true. Not
Yeah.
all your skin folk are going to be kinfolk, but we should be intentional about building our communities. Those of us that want to do the work, that want to push forward, that understand that
You
being
said
black
key
isn't a
word,
monolith,
those.
let's keep doing that. Build, your vibe and your tribe, build that. But, if we don't vibe together, that's okay. You can go find another tribe. But us over here, we're
But you
here to
see,
do the
you
work and
said
we're
key
here to
word,
love each other.
those. You said key word,
Yes,
those.
indeed.
Those.
Indeed. It is very
That
important
that
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 you,
is a collective of people that wants to change, that
Absolutely.
wants community, that have the same values and things in common. And there's not a lot of people out there that have a lot of things in common. So
I
yes,
don't
you
I
know
got
would
if you have to
disagree.
have something in
I
common
would
to be part of
disagree.
somebody's community because,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. I have a very few amount of friends and I don't get to see them that often and none of us really have anything in common. However, when we see each other, the conversations are amazing. The times are ridiculous and the love is real.
that's what you
So,
have. The love, the conversations, that's
yeah,
commonality right there. That's what I'm
well,
talking about.
see, just like me and Keisha were just debating back and forth, we don't have some of the same opinions. That's actually the majority of my friends don't think the same way I do. So
Yeah.
if that was the case, I wouldn't have any friends. And then also a big thing for me is I don't get to see my friends that often. Sometimes it could be a whole year, sometimes even more. Sometimes I don't see my friends for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call or I'll call them like, "Hey, I think it's been a couple of years. How you doing? Want to do brunch?" And that's okay. It's okay to have friends like that. Like once in a while, people be like, "Oh, you don't have any friends?" Yeah, I do. I have a life too. It's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with being so busy with my baby that I don't get to see them all the time, or even with my family. When I see them, it's a wonderful time, but we don't have much in common. We're all some of my friends they're way younger than me. Some of them are older. Some of them are the same age. We're all at different places in our life. A lot of my friends, their kids are grown. My baby is 2. A lot of my friends have, some of them are retired, and some of them are just starting over. Everybody's at different places in their lives. And some people, you'll make a friend and you'll be like, oh, they're the greatest friend. And then when they start going through something, you're like, oh, they're not there for me. Well, what are they going through? Do you even know what they're going through? Is there a reason why they can't be there for you? Like, did you even take the time to find out? Because sometimes my friends are just busy. They got kids. Sometimes some of them that don't have kids, they just been working because it's a hard world and they work 2 or 3 jobs. And a lot of people, they feel so lonely. So lonely. Even me sometimes. I feel so lonely. And we don't share the feeling of loneliness. I have started to share it with all of my friends. And they are actually more receptive than I thought to hearing that, hey, I'm lonely. Can you come talk to me and spend some time with me? Hey, I've only been with the toddler for the last 7 days because, my partner's been working crazy hours. Can I get some adult time? And
Yeah.
they wouldn't know unless I call them.
I
And
think that's
it's
what
up
we're
to me
talking
to make
about,
that
though.
choice.
That's
Yeah.
how we break those generational curses. And so we
Being
we
Yeah,
have to
that's why I'm
intentional.
speak
calling
up.
you.
We have to speak up about the things that we were told not to speak up about. We
Yes.
have to
And be
change the things.
intentional.
Be very intentional. Be intentional about the things that you communicate to others. Be intentional about the way that you communicate them to others. We hear a lot about speaking to somebody in their love language, right? So just because you say something doesn't mean that somebody received it the way that you intended. Having conversations about financial literacy, having conversations about like who do you intend to be, about supporting people through the different stages of their life. These aren't things that I really talked to my mother about when I was young, but we talk about it now. We talk about it now that I am already in that stage in my life. So I wasn't prepared before that because she wasn't prepared, right? She wasn't that wasn't a thing when she was younger. Everybody kept their thing to themselves. You sweep around your own front door. I'm gonna sweep around mine. That's a whole song. And what happens in this house stays in this house. So you don't talk to your friends about it. You don't talk to your pastor about it. You don't talk to anybody about it, because what happens in this house stays in this house. And what happens with that is that we end up internalizing things. We end up not communicating about the things that are hurtful to us. We end up not feeling like we have anybody to lean on for the things that happen in our lives. And so when we do get hurt, when we are abused, when we are emotionally in a bad headspace, we think, well, I just need to deal with it. This is how it always has been. I deal with it and I move on, and we've got to break those generational curses too, because
And I actually tell all
that's
my friends, and
how it works.
you know, even though Jessica talks about how we had to mind our own business, I've never been that way. Y'all know it. I've always spoken my mind. But one of the things that a lot of people don't do that was huge when we were growing up is know your neighbors. Do you even know who lives across from you or to both sides of you? Do you know their names? Do you know their kids' names? I don't. I know the maybe one person in each house, but there's like 8 people next door and 5 people next door and maybe 15 then
I
across.
don't know one
I don't know.
person in each
But
house.
either way, I know. I'm just joking. But either way, when I was younger in my early 20s, I knew all my neighbors. I knew all their
Yeah.
names, and it was safer for me. I felt safer knowing that I can leave my house and forget the door locked and somebody would be watching my door. Or I could forget to grocery shop for the day and go next door and eat. And that sense of community is kind of lost. And I really want that for my daughter. I'm looking for a community like that now. As I was telling her, when we go to buy a house, one of the reasons why we're finding such a hard time buying a house is because I want that sense of community. And I thought it might be here over, where we live, but it's not. Our neighborhood is a bunch of bickering and people going on anonymous on Facebook to talk about each other. They can't even go to each other's house to say it. And even when they can't find a package, like when a package gets delivered to us, I go to that person's house. Oh my God, such a foreign concept. Yes, I deliver it to your doorstep.
I mean,
So what?
several people in our community do, but there are a couple of people who are a little
Who
different.
don't? Who actually say, "Hey, come get your package?" And it's crazy because why are you so scared to go to your neighbor's house? You
Y'all
should
gotta think
want to
about how
know your
y'all
neighbor.
grew up though. Y'all gotta think about how y'all two grew
You
up.
see, you must
And
think we grew up a certain way, but we did go through some certain. We lived in
We
Pine
went through
Hills.
quite a bit.
I'm sure a lot of people could look up Pine Hills. There were shootouts, and there were some people that were more than questionable. There were rapists. There were some molesters in the neighborhood. There was
look,
some really rough
oh,
children who
okay.
had to get their butts beat. But
The
at the end of the
closeness,
day,
the closeness of your family is what I'm saying. I'm not talking
not all of
about.
our families like us. So just because we ended up this way doesn't mean our entire family is this way. Our mother
It's
is.
just my mom and her children. So my mom and her children
We
were
took
the
it from
only
our
ones
mother. That
that are
doesn't mean
close.
all of her family's like us.
Everybody grows up differently then.
My daughter woke
Yeah.
up. Sorry. Yeah. So we have family members that have treated us really terrible. We have family members that talk about us. We have family members who would throw us under the bus if they could. In fact, we have family members who would probably steal some of our food. But you know what? That's not my problem. It's just, I guess, the same way of my thinking. I don't think about it. I know I have been treated terrible by some people that I've gotten taken advantage of because I'm a nice person. I have some mean tendencies, but at the end of the day, I have a huge heart and I know it. I like to try and act tough. But if I see somebody on the side of the road, if I have $1, they're gonna have that dollar. And if I'm in the middle of eating a hot dog and I don't have $1, they can have the other half. And that's I've always been that way. And I remember being at a campsite and there was this woman with so many children and they came over and wanted to use my cell phone and her children were hungry and ended up eating with us and this is how you end up getting caught up, girl. In my head I bought this kid's clothes. I was shopping for them already. hmm she had, what was it, 3 or 4 children, just maybe 5, I don't know. There was a baby on a hip and one in a stroller, man, and then a couple of big ones.
How'd you end up at
And
the store?
in my head, I was already shopping. Plus, we had
Oh,
clothes at the house from some other kids that I take care of. That would they couldn't fit those clothes no more. So she stole something from, me. And I still wanted to help her, but they wouldn't let me. It's not my problem that she stole from me. I was so depressed I couldn't help her children. it hurt my heart. I wanted to help those children so bad. And God sees what people do. It's not my problem if they take advantage of me. It's not my
Yep.
problem if they are terrible. It's not
Yep.
my problem if the wino that I gave $20 to goes and gets a drink after he
Mm-hmm.
told me he was going to get something to eat. Because at the
Yep.
end of the day, I did what I thought was right, and I did what made me happy. And regardless of whether it actually did what it's supposed to do for them, I've already done my part, and God saw me. Hopefully,
Yeah.
God will continue them on their path as well. And if the devil got to them, that's not my problem. I don't hold grudges. I'm not holding anything against anybody. It's not my problem. I probably can't even remember what you did. And if I do remember, I probably just don't care.
So bringing it back to breaking generational curses.
You
I
guys,
like your suggestions. I like your suggestions. They're great suggestions about breaking generation curses. They are. You know.
So we talked about breaking generational curses. We talked about appropriating Black culture and a lot of those what that means to us, sort of in a lighter sense in a broader sense. And we talked about like kind of ways to approach breaking those generational curses that happen. In the comments down below, let us know about how you feel like you can break those generational curses and things that you think are appropriated from Black culture usually. You've been with us for Different Walk Serious Talks, and we'll see you next time.